Hey there, Silver Tongue Devil here, and in this live stream, we're not quite going from 0%. We've got a little bit done so far. We're just going to carry on with what we're going. I'm going to show you some ways to be efficient with the achievements that you may be looking at, or ones that you've got left, and just using a bit of game knowledge to find the best places to do it. And trying to not look like an idiot and die when I'm doing it. That's the important part. So tonight we're going to go for Exploding Head Killer. We can be ticking off Explosive Killer whilst we're doing that as well. There's groups of skulls in the abyss, which is where we're going to be going for. When you shoot one, the explosions from that blow up the other two, which counts towards this. And if I remember correctly, it counts towards that as well. An exploding head blowing up and exploding another exploding head counts as an exploding head kill. Exploding head. So, the other one that we want to get as well, Pit of Agony Trial. What is it with these achievements? Why are they not clicking? There we go. Complete the Pit of Agony in 90 seconds. Oh, I'm sure we can manage that. And Pit of Despair Mastery, and we'll also need Agony Mastery as well, because I don't think Mastery opens until you've got Trial, but it's been a while. I might be wrong. I'm wrong. Cool. Ignore me. So, because we are doing various bits and pieces whilst we're playing, because we've got a lot of arrows to unlock the unlocks for, or that unlock the upgrades for, Blessed Quiver is what we want to be taking, just because we're going to be able to get more of the arrows that we need to be able to get more kills that we need for the actual arrow. No, Pit of Agony's 90 seconds isn't too bad. I thought we had that last time. I might have just been a little slow. All you have to do is kill the incubi, but of course the incubi doesn't come to life until you've killed a certain percentage of enemies within the level. So, remember where that slow button is. So if we wait for these guys to close in a little bit on each other, one should explode on the other. That didn't. Oh, it's going to be one of those nights. Let's see if we can get some extra kills out of this one. No, only the one. We do need lots of kills on other bits and pieces as well, so we might as well get them whilst we're at it. Oh, they weren't clustered up very nicely, were they? Hang on a second. Good old slow time. Check, tap, chat with slow time. Yeah, I thought you said Wrath of God. My text thing is speaking weird tonight. Yeah, Wrath of God is the arrow for that, which is what we might go and have a quick look in this shop for. Which means we do need to collect a little bit of money. Again, as I've probably said previously, when you are going for achievements, sometimes it is best just to concentrate on one or maybe two. This would be what, my 4th time 100% completing a profile. So I'm a little long in the tooth of it. Let's just take my armor. Oh, you did as well. None of them are standing together very nicely. Huh? Oh. I will get to that in just a second. I thought I'd just give you guys a laugh. I just checked my wrist because I heard the click and I was like, for what? It's my phone. It doesn't go off very often, but when it does, you better believe it's the click noise. How sad is that? So, differences between the PICO. The cant of the control pads has not been adjusted for, in my humble opinion. Because the control pads with the... Hello, Sean. The control pads with the PICO are... Well, this is the cool thing, LG. I can show you. So, with... I won't spend too long on this, but... If you look at a Quest controller and a PICO controller, I don't think the cant is the same. I don't think this cant is the same as. In fact, it's slightly. I'm trying to think which way it is actually. Let's have a quick look. So yeah, for it to be, it feels like the PICO's slightly further down. No, that's right. It's shallower, which then means that you have to compensate ever so slightly. And we know what compensation's like in this game. Compensate in one game and it absolutely ruins you in another. Hello, Kev. Ooh. Have you not seen this one? You must have seen this one before. Surely, you must see me play this. This is the OG original. I mean, I'd say rogue like light, and it does have some of the attributes, but in comparison to games that I've played recently, i.e. Light Brigade, and a few others, this isn't actually that. It's like rogue super light, because there's not a lot of the features that you would expect in a roguelike, like the building of your character and progression. But yeah, so as I was saying about the cant of the bow, for me, I mean, I don't think it'll affect you horizontalers, but, oh, we got that. I'll take it anyway. I don't think it'll affect the horizontal side of things, but I definitely notice a difference because I play vertically. So, for instance, that's where my hand should be, but my hand would rest naturally here. So I have to move my hand down a little bit. But it's clearer, it's crisper. I can't remember if the knights don't sound like they're galloping at me yet, but we're hopeful. I'm sure there'll be an update. Most importantly, LG, this version still has runner! Best mode ever! So that's an important thing. They're like one... Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, Weebs said it best when he told me, when he said it to me, and the way to explain it is that I think the PICO's more comfy. That's not worked out so well, has it? Where's that now? Where's that now? Oh, well, never mind. Carry on. Ignore that. So, yeah, the sweet spot of... It's more comfortable, and you don't have to maneuver the headset round to get it clear, like, ever. You can put it straight on, because of how the lenses work. It's you, isn't it? Because of how the lenses work and because they're flat, there's a much bigger sweet spot, so you don't have to be doing this all the time or tightening things up. I usually find that I can just literally throw the headset on and it's good, and then you don't have to adjust it again, and that's really nice. And I find the processing power, that extra little bit of processing power, basically means that I can stream Desolation all over again. And yeah, we're on the PICO now. We can stream in Desolation. I don't know if it's just me, but I know that when I try and record videos in Desolation and live stream in Desolation, that's where I get a lot of stutter. That's the group that we want. Nice tight skulls, because that'll count as 3 exploding skulls killed and 2 enemies killed, well maybe 1 actually, but it'll definitely count towards enemies killed with exploding skulls. Need more of those. Oh, there's an opportunity there. Everything, as I said, it feels a little bit sharper. I say I don't know if anybody else gets that video issues. I get it especially in Desolation, and also when there's a lot of enemies around in the in the quest version. And we know that it's because whatever Super Bright have done and have been doing, they are really pushing things on the quest too. That extra, maybe, I don't know what it is, probably 10, 15%, maybe 20% power extra that the PICO pushes. I can see the difference. But what I find that cant does for me is it shoots my arrows up and right ever so slightly. But I think you would be the same as me, LG. You've played it so long, and you've also experienced the likes of Siege of Heaven, that you'll just find yourself adjusting. But it does take a little bit of time, and then I find that if I go back to the quest version, I'm a little bit off there. And then although I haven't said that, I played the quest version enough now that I just adjust straight away. The PICO can take a little bit of adjustment, but not much. Bit darker. Oh, maybe it's because they haven't messed around with the lighting on this version as much either. That's what we want, though. We want a bit of shade. I want to throw a bit of shade out there. I can definitely tell you that the lighting improvements in Purgatory are definitely in the PICO version. I'm trying to think what else there is of note. Battery life, I believe, is about the same on the PICO. Can't really talk about battery life as much now because of the setup that I have, but I do have a setup now that means that I have interchangeable batteries that I can pull out and plug in and have on the recharge all the time, and I can interchange them between my PICO and my quest, which is really useful for streaming. As it happens, I basically never have to stop again, although I still do. Only so much IDU I can take, I think, sometimes. Don't find anywhere near, not that I got a lot with the quest, and I have made some improvements as far as my bits and pieces are concerned, but I do find the tracking is better. However, the proof in the pudding on that, I think, will be in Siege, not in the standard mode. So we shall see about that. See how good this PICO is. So, like, here's one for you, Weebs. Even though he will count as alerted because he is in his ready pose. He's actually glitched on that post and can't move towards us. If we moved around, we could get him to. But because he's in his ready pose... Oh, look, now he's throwing X's. He technically counts as alerted. Oh, come on. Just saying about that lovely PICO tracking. The controllers have a very awesome way of changing the battery, which I'm sure I'll show off later, but it almost feels like reloading a magazine and then slamming it back home on the controller. The controller also has 2 batteries in it as opposed to 1, and so I find that it just seems to last forever. Hello, Richard. So let's have a look in the shop, see if there's anything of note. No. Okay, let's go and see what pit we're looking at. Get the rest of those skulls. And it's just going to be tonight is going to be like most nights when I stream IDU. It's just going to be a little bit of rinse and repeat. But that does mean that I am happy, very happy to answer any questions that anyone might have. And remember, no question is a stupid question, and I don't care if I've answered it a million times before. I'll always answer it again and again, because it helps reinforce the lessons on me as much as anything else. Sean, is Richard one of our newest starts on the Facebook group? Is that the guy? Am I thinking of the right guy? Memory serves, he might have been the one that posted about the pit. Talking of pits. Whoa, I hear an orphan. Any pit? No. Still need some extra banshees. Oh! Awesome. Well, I will give you a warm welcome from the Facebook group. Welcome, Richard. Hopefully you enjoy the stream. And as somebody who is a new starter, remember, as I just literally said, and that wasn't for your benefit either, that's for anybody's benefit, any questions you ask, if I don't know the answer, which is fucking unlikely, well, I don't know, I'm not infallible, but if I don't know the answer, someone, probably in the chat, will. And then worst case scenario, you've always got that Facebook group to go to, which was a massive, years, literally. Don't sell yourself short, Sean. You pass my lessons on very nicely. Hey, you're doing in fact, Sean, you're doing a very good job of keeping everything popping on the Facebook group. Do you see your posts? So, as far as the bow is concerned, this is not just years of... It's not just years of VR, it's also years of playing this game as well. I think I just... Yeah, that was the creak of my own bow. It's been a while. Hello. So... I originally started the game... See, this is why I like being asked questions, because I've always got at least 20 minutes of ammunition from any question asked. So... I started off playing this game very similar to a couple of the other players of, or to a couple of other players of note, being For the Right and Beanie. Oh, you little bugger. Go on, electrocute her. Go on. Yes, got it. Zap, zap. That was my own fault. Right, where you go? There you are. Ah, missed. There we go. No, better get out of that. That's not what I planned on doing. Yeah, but it's cheaper. Lot cheaper, I would imagine. Part of the way to make things cheaper. So yeah, as I said, I started off at the same sort of time as For the Right and Beanie, and we all started cutting our teeth together on this game on a little known mode called Siege of Heaven. And of course, Siege of Heaven is a mode where you don't really get chance to rest. I mean, you do and you should, but it's a short enough mode anyway, and it's quite exhilarating when you get into it and you just want to get to the next bit and the next bit and the next bit to post those big scores. And so, of course, you end up holding your arm out for a very long time. And so you just build it up from there. And it is then on top of that, but I'm not saying you have to go and play Siege. The other thing as well is it'll happen naturally. Your arm will get steadier the more VR you play, especially the more obviously IDU you play. The more you do of those two things, the more you, believe it or not, the more you do of a thing, the better you get at a thing. And you will find that your accuracy improves as well. The one thing, what advice could I give you as somebody who started playing? Play vertically. It's the way. It's the way of the bow. It's the proper. Don't pay attention to these big names like LG and Beanie who hold the bow like this. It's all wrong. All wrong. There is one thing that I will say, though, in holding your arm out either way. I think holding your arm out like that is more... Oh, God, can we say natural? I don't think so. No, I don't think I've got a point there to make. So let's just say play vertical. Get it ingrained now to play good vertical. Don't be that horizontal guy. Come on now. I still stand by my theory that a lot of people play horizontal because they saw For the Right and Beanie playing horizontal. LG doesn't help either. It's exactly the same way that I went. A bomb. Hang on. Said that twice now. Athom. Athom. Chat keeps on calling you Abom. Athom. I will try and remember, but it's difficult when you've got a crazy lady in your head telling you the wrong way. Yeah, I was exactly the same. Spent a lot of time. That's... The thing is... To be fair, like, all jokes aside, you do what comes natural to you and do what comes best to you. I'm always going to push for vertical, but I don't think there's any... I don't think there's any disadvantages. The other thing that I will say is there are some benefits to playing vertically and horizontally. And just because I'm a vertical player doesn't mean I won't occasionally go to horizontal. And I also find that I slip into the diagonal as well. Yeah, no, yeah. You hold it how you find it most comfortable and most natural. The one thing that I'll say is, when I first started, I made a point of holding the bow vertically. I wanted to be a vertical player because I saw Beanie doing this and it drove me nuts. So, yeah, I think, obviously I'm going to be biased, but I think vertical is the way to go. There are some advantages to both. Horizontal, a lot of people always tell me that they have a greater field of view. And I suppose because you haven't got something right in front of you, then, that is a thing. You can, you have that greater field of view. But I find that when I'm firing, I'm looking past the bow anyway, and this doesn't. I've never been surprised by anything because of a blind spot that the bow creates. As far as vertical's concerned, the other thing, let's talk about horizontal first. The thing with horizontal is, and Beanie does this exceptionally well. Oh yes, sorry Sean, bear with. I'll finish this and then ask away. So, or ask away and I'll try and process the question whilst I'm just finishing this off. But with horizontal, Beanie does this a lot better than I do. Is you can aim, you have a point of reference. So you have something to point at the target and you can close one eye and aim it, and then you'll eventually learn as you're playing how far you need to aim off. One of the things that I can tell you that will help your bow game no end regardless of how you play is always full draw. First off, it's what gets you the most damage. Secondly, it's what gets you the most points. If you always full draw, you then build in consistency. By the full points thing, if you do weak shots, you get a lot less points for hitting those heads. So you want to be doing full draw. It won't punish you too much if I think it's between like 75 and 100% draw, but this is an important thing. You can only actually draw back so far. Like, for instance, my hand is all the way over here, but the bowstring only goes so far. So for consistency, you want to make sure that you are always drawing back to the same point and releasing at the point. And that is one of the things, because if you can build up consistency, you can then start learning the arcs of your arrows. And if you can start learning the arcs of your arrows, you can then start hitting those distant targets because you're consistently putting the arrows in the same place. So that's a big tip. Vertical, what advantages does vertical have? Vertical has the advantages of fucking looking correct. And you know, then that's all I have to say about that, really. This is how barbarians fire their bows and arrows. See, the thing is, the one thing to remember as well is we're playing in virtual reality. Now, you wouldn't want to be firing a bow like this all of the time because it's not how they're designed. But in VR, it doesn't matter because you don't have any problems with the arrow like falling off the bow or anything along those lines. So, any other vertical things? The thing is, you can use all of them. Occasionally I fire upside down as well. That's, you know, just for the that one's for the ladies. That's the special shot. And you want to actually, in some circumstances, especially with special arrows, you do want to move your bow from vertical to horizontal, and the reason being is because you can get a wider spread of multiple arrows when you are horizontal, and you can get kind of a more concentrated spread when you do it this way. So, right, go on, Sean, ask your question. I can see the enemy anyway. The thing is, one of the things that I would say is, I don't know how many of you close one eye to aim, but I don't do that. I've noticed, because I've been trying to do it, I don't do that in any game now. I don't think I've ever done it in IDU. I always have both eyes open. A lot of my aiming comes from all of the things that I've said about the consistency of draw, knowing your sort of arc with your shots, and a lot of other factors basically mean that I'm not aiming. It's why you'll see me firing quite rapidly, because I can put the arrows, like Revolver Ocelot, but with the bow, I can make the arrows go where I want, you see? And it's the thrill of the reload during battle. But as you build up that consistency, I can't remember who it was, Mike, I believe, but I can't remember his gamer name, on the Discord put it back, is that a lot of your aiming when you get to the higher level is a combination of guesstimation and voodoo magic. Right, what pit have we got? If it's agony, we need to move fast. If it's pit of despair, we just need to be careful. So we want to go nice and slow and steady. Right, but before I do that, So, yeah. To be fair, there's times where I'll fire a shot at a certain angle because it just feels right to do so. My favourite shot is that one, doing it from up here down onto an enemy's head. Completely terrible form, but we are in VR, so it doesn't actually matter. Here you go, Weebs. This is why Cupids are a really good one, because these ones haven't been alerted. Well, now they have, but if I'd have hit that first time, that would have been one of the kills that we were talking about as far as Assassin's concerned. As for doing an update for working the room, now, I have asked my handlers. Weeble, you do know a little bit more than others, but obviously keep it to yourself for now. I have asked my handlers about a certain situation that I'm going to be moving in to, which is going to mean that I am going to be a very busy boy as far as VR is concerned. And I don't know if I'm going to have time to make videos. Yes, Tempest on Cupids is a great one. Hello, Steel Fox. Cupids, Tempest on Cupids is a fantastic one. Absolutely fantastic one. Thing is, it's all going to be public in quite a few days. But obviously, I don't want to upset the apple cart by saying something that I'm not supposed to. But it's all good news. The only thing that it will mean, what I'm planning on doing is... I'm trying to get there, Sean. Give me a minute. So, I'm going to go and try and stream on a Wednesday. And I'm still going to try and stream on a Saturday each and every week, as I have been with various games. I'm going to be doing some additional streaming, probably 3 to 4 times a week, doing something else. That's as much as I'll say. Until I'm actually doing it. The problem is, that's going to be about 20 hours a week streaming. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but there is a bit of prep to going into doing it, and there is an element of fatigue after you've finished and so on. So, and as I think I've explained to people previously as well, the videos that you see me put out there, I'd like to think they're of a reasonable quality. The problem is I'm not a very fast editor. I'm no perfectionist, but I'm not a fast editor, or at least I am self-taught, I guess. I mean, that's a point. I can always group up again with LG and Beanie, and maybe even bring Sean back. And I tell you what we could do. No, that wouldn't work. I'd say we could do like a podcast of all of us on again and talk about it. But I don't know if you can do that. I can just as easily talk about it here. Could do a live stream of Work in the Room. That could be a thing. Because there are some things to add, and there are some new strategies and some various bits and pieces. And yes, I know a video that correlates it all together will be... It's not that... I'm getting there! It's my biggest fan and worst enemy at times, you are, Sean. Well done, sir. So, yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be good. So, basically, I'm coming into a very busy period of time in my life, and I've got to get things secure quite quickly, which is what I want to do. To do a video like the video that I did before, and even though I'm maybe a year on from doing that, it still takes me about 30 hours to put one of those sorts of videos together for the way that I do it. I've looked at it along the lines of per minute of actual video takes me about 3 hours. I believe that is an absolutely ridiculous rate, and that's probably nowhere as good as other people manage. Oh, you little shit. Hold still. Hold still. But that's, that's the rate that I go at, so... maybe it'll spur me on to do one. You never know. You never know. problem is we're getting to a point now where, look, I'll have to be honest with you. I am on YouTube to get the views. I am on YouTube to get the likes. I do want to at least try and make some money out of this. And the problem is, with IDU not getting the support that it's getting, or used to get anymore, the influx of new players isn't there as much as it used to be. And a lot of people are moving on. I mean... Oh, there's one. I was just about to say, we've got one veteran in the room, as in LG. Travis has just come in. That's another. But most of the other ones are gone. Most of the other ones are left, or they can't be consistent, or can't put time in, or what have you. But then having said that, well, that is the plan. Sean, that is the plan. So it allows me... Thing is, once I get started on what I've got planned, and once I get it going... Oh, bear with. What the heck's that? Once I get going... the phone just cost me a life then. So... Oh no! God damn you, Edinburgh! Somebody from Edinburgh just rang me on my phone. Well, there goes the... Well... I have a lot of ideas for a lot of videos, and I've got a lot of videos that I need to make for a lot of different things now. I would like to do a fully up-to-date one. One of the other problems that I've got is Cam's kind of disappeared off the face of the earth, and he is kind of the repository for a lot of the techniques, or suppository, one of the two. He is the repository for a lot of the techniques that we would use or are going... Sorry, bear with me a second. Hello? Yeah, no, I'm live streaming. Cheers. Oh, cold call salesman rang me twice. Yes, yeah. Everything is potentially coming to a head, and so I might be putting a lot of time into VR, and hopefully a lot of time into streaming. But I'll then have a lot of free time because I won't really need to be working because the bills will be paid and the lights will be kept on by what I'm doing, which then hopefully once I settle in will allow me to make videos. Because the thing is, I do not and never have cared about how well my videos do. It's nice that they get views and it's nice that they get liked, and I love all the comments that you guys put in, and I hope that the videos help. However, if only one person watched it and it helped them, that would be enough. That would be enough for me. Then in that case, it doesn't matter. Now that the monetization thing is a thing, I do have to... It's not a good return on my time to bin 30 hours of a video into something that I've already done. Now, yes, you are quite right, it does need an update, but I don't think there's that much that needs covering. So, unfortunately, a video like that goes a little bit lower on the priorities list. For instance, most of you watching me on here, we all love Light Brigade, right? What a great game. I want to be putting out tips and tricks and various bits and pieces for that game whilst it's hot. I think that one's going to be around for quite a while, as long as the devs keep on doing what they've been doing so far. And again, it's selfish on a little bit because, yeah, like any person who's on YouTube, I don't want to admit that I'm chasing views and likes and various bits and pieces, but that is the way of things. But then the other the other side of the coin is if that was all it was about, then I would be doing PCVR and I would be doing a lot of things that I'm not doing now, and I choose not to do those things because it's not me. Wouldn't he enjoy? So I hope I get a chance to make it. I hope I have time to make it. We shall see. Do I even need to do... And okay, no, we've got to start again with the pit one. Yes, yeah, no, I've seen the videos and seen the various bits and pieces. Yeah, I don't do that. I don't get that. I'm not a professional editor. That's the thing. I don't even consider myself a content creator. I'm not a fan of that word. So, or that combination of words. I consider myself a video DJ. I'm not making anything. I'm just throwing a few bits and pieces together and talking over it. Video DJ. So we shall see what the future holds. Yeah. Everything and nothing, right? Again, it should... I'll be able to talk about it. Do I even need to do Asmo? Now, what's going to be quicker? Me do Asmo or die? Oh, I know. Oh, actually, hang on. These count. Let's see if we can show off a little. 1, 2, 3. No! Damn you! Woo! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was 2 boils and killing all 6 of the skulls with no slow time. I remember Stephen Echo put me to that, or mentioned about that previously, and yeah, it's something that I always strive to do. Especially, well, only when I'm dicking around, but you know. Right, right, I've killed the skulls. I don't even know if they count towards what we're supposed to be doing. But let's die, start again, because we need to get the deaths. No, that is true. That is true. I dread the fact that I need to go and put a score in on... And I technically need to go and put scores in on both leaderboards. And it's one of those things, it's like... I've done it so many times before, and done it to such a long level, or such a level of play that, I don't know, it's getting to the point where I'm having to make choices about what I do with my time. Yes, he did. He did. But then the thing is, he'll come back. He'll come back if there's new challenges and there's new things to do. Just changing the way that the damage works and adding a mode in like they did with Mortal, I can tell you now, as far as Cam's concerned, it won't be enough. We need new enemies, we need new levels, we need new challenges, we need new achievements. There's so much that this game could be giving us. Oh, let's go and check on these achievements. Thank you, salesman. You cost me my perfect run. Watch us not get despair all bloody night now. Where's the flaming skull one? Exploding head killer. So we've almost got that. I'm pretty sure Asmodeus's heads count for that one. Where's the explosive? There. Yeah, this one's a little bit more difficult, but we'll figure it out. Right, let's go and get that one. Try and get the pit again. Got all the amulets now. Forgot one. Forgot something I could have done to make it super easy. In fact, I'll quit. Doesn't make any odds, does it? So this is a top tip for anybody who's achievement hunting, and it's best... It's best that I show it off. Turn to... no, hang on. No, don't save. Let's try that again, shall we? Getting used to the buttons. There's a couple of extra buttons on the old PICO. Right, there we go. Don't want to be in the circle, otherwise it'll save. Right. But yeah, so in closing, there's a lot of things that I want to do. There's a lot of videos that I want to make. But it then comes down to having the time to live stream and do this extra live stream and do the videos. And remember, somewhere in between all of that, I've got to actually play the game as well. It's part of the reason why I started doing the live streams, because it allowed me to actually get some video out there, but actually play as well, to at least some sort of level. So, anything that requires us not to take damage, i.e. perfects and masteries, or yeah, you have to perfect the level, i.e. not take any damage, but the achievement is called mastery. Any ones that require that, if we were to put on something that gives us holy armor, i.e. resistance privilege, this is a great thing to take, because then you are allowed to take a hit before you get into your damage threshold. So, top tip for anyone who's after masteries, put resistance privilege on. The other thing to do as well is, once you have died 66 times, or is it the incubi? I can't remember. I'm playing it that long now. One of those two achievements starts you off with a holy armor, which then means that if you put that amulet on, resistant privilege, you'll then get another armor, which then means that you get two... Yeah. Oh no, I can see it in the quality of the work. Having multiple armors basically means that we can take hits that would normally mean that we would fail the mastery element, i.e. taking damage. The long and the short of it is, losing armor does not count as taking a hit or losing health. It's governed separately. So it's one of the things that you can do. I'll take some more if they're going as well. It's one of the things that you can do to make getting masteries easier, because they're not easy. They're really not. The other thing to remember as well, I think it works as far as mastery is concerned with this, is if you say took a hit. Ooh, Curse of God. No, we don't need that one anymore. If you took a hit in one world, say Purgatory, and then didn't take a hit in, say, Paradise Lost, you wouldn't get the mastery. And the reason being is because you've already taken a hit up until that point, so it wouldn't count. It is the same for on a budget. No, we don't even need to be here. Same for the on a budget achievements. In that if you were managed to go through Purgatory and spend some money, and then went through Paradise Lost and didn't spend any money, Paradise Lost would not unlock. And on a budget is do not spend money in a world. But if you spent money in the previous world, it then locks you out for the run, basically. Oh, I am thinking of another reason why vertical is superior. That's how you're supposed to hold the controllers. Just saying. Maybe that's why I have never had as many tracking issues as other people have reported, because they're holding the controller sideways. I'm sure they are designed to be held anyway, but I would imagine with where things are positioned and just... I knew you were coming. Where things are positioned and just natural holding the bow and arrow might be a factor. Right, let us get in to the pit before I take any damage. All you two are together as well. Lovely. Now, again, we've explained it many times, and usually it's not so useful, but in this scenario it's not too bad. If where we enter a pit from is where we will go back to, and you should come back. Agony, shit, need to be fast. Fuck. See if I can do it vanilla. Gonna have to now. Committed. I haven't got time for you. Now, one of the things, if I remember rightly, we did confirm is achievements like this. I'm just gonna have to get amongst it. Achievements like this do not do not get any benefit from you using slow time. So keep your finger off the slow time button whilst you are attempting this, because... Oh, thanks very much, Indy. Just to make sure, I'm pretty sure I just heard the click. Yeah, there we go. So, don't use slow time when you are in that pit. I went probably a little faster than I needed to, but because I had vanilla arrows, you kind of have to do it at that sort of speed to have a chance of doing it in the 90 seconds. But just to reiterate, if you use slow time within those sort of challenges, it goes against you. As a general rule, other than achievements, if you can't see the timer that you are working against, usually you're okay to slow time. But when it comes to achievements, that is not the case. As a for instance, when you are in things where you can see the timer, you can see that by holding slow down, slow time, or quiver select, as the rest of us call it, using slow time in a tournament situation, regardless of whether you are in slow time or not, the timer favourite shot. I'll die already. The timer, like for instance, if this was a timed mode now and we were in slow time and watching the timer, it would go at a normal rate whether we were in slow time or not. So that's why a lot of these tournaments that are time based, you have to play fast, you have to play loose, and you have to play without the old slow time crutch. But yeah, I was quite happy with that. So that, you know, and just to reinforce the whole achievement of that as well, completing the level, as far as the game was concerned, that level was complete when I killed the incubi, not when I left Agony. So kill the things until you've killed a certain percentage of enemies, then the incubi will transform from stone. Have we got wildfire? Don't think we have, you know. Here it is. Thank you, Sean. I knew it was one of the two. Yeah, dying so many times unlocks it in the world as a pickup, if I remember. I don't use smooth either. Any turning you see me doing, I'm doing in real life. Because if I use smooth turn, my brain melts. It really does. I cannot use it. So I do use snap turn, but I only really use it for correcting my position. I don't really use it at all with the PICO because I don't find myself wandering off of the spot too much. But if I have a bit of a hairy moment, I'm kind of like retreating away from something or a ghost or whatnot, I might go out of the center of my play space. So I'll then step back to the center of my play space, use the snap turn to align myself with, like, I don't know, the level, and then hold the button to recalibrate it all. And that is one of the other tips that I would give as well for this. Again, it's about that consistency and about giving you tracking the best chance you can get is obviously have as clutter-free play space as you can get. My biggest tip, and this is good for any VR games because this stops you punching things. Oh, what am I on? I'm on the PICO. What does that mean? I can do this. Have a little mat. I'm turning in real life. That's what I do. I'm still convinced that I can be more accurate and turn faster in real life than I can do with this. But have a little mat. Mine is a little worn now, granted. But have a little mat, and I usually keep a toe or the front of the ball of my foot on said mat, and then take a little bit of a stance. You can go full archery stance if you want to, but I actually find my old karate stance, or a very shortened karate stance, is better. And then you always know where the center of your room is, and it just stops you punching stuff. And it works for everything. But yeah, any turning you see me do in pretty much any game is done in real life, because I can't smooth turn. Snap turn I'm fine with, but I mean I'll do it occasionally, but not in combat. Not when things are about. Is that everything? Yeah. One click. How long has it taken for us to get that one click? Right, I do need to check my little battery. Yep, I thought that was getting low. Could feel it. Pop that one in. Up there. Pop that one there. Quick swig of water. Listen to that orphan laugh. I would definitely recommend, once you are comfortable with VR, and definitely having that little mat, I would recommend turning in VR as opposed to using either snap turn or smooth motion, because I think you can get used to VR a lot quicker that way. Or at least I found I could. I've never had any problems with VR and my VR legs. The only problem that I had, and I still have, is smooth motion. As soon as I start doing smooth motion with the controller, because I've gone back to it occasionally on other games and just try and see if, like, you know, have my VR legs surpassed my brain? No, they have not. Still feels very fucking weird. Right, another little one for you is that cursing an orphan while she is taking tick damage. I mean, there's other spells obviously that do tick damage. Steady. Curse is probably, well, one of the best known. But whilst an orphan is taking tick damage, she cannot run away. Oh, come on, get up. Higher, higher. Let's go, higher. There we go. Yeah, whilst an orphan's taking tick damage, so their bar is blue or a colour, they can't teleport whilst doing that. I think it's the same with Hand of God as well. Oh, also, some not random symbols. Apologies for I've always called you Summoner in the past, because that's how she reads it out to me. So I will just call you Sum though. So yeah. Oh yeah. I'll get to slow time in just a second. Yeah, I was hoping that I could get used to it. You are a better man than me, Sum. You really are. I can't do it. If I ever do one of those streams of pain, you want to get me? You want to get me bad? Make me play on smooth turn. and make it so that I'm not allowed to turn on the spot in real life. I mean, I won't last very long, and I'll also probably end the night with a headache. So, as Sean has quite rightly identified, why can you always see my quiver? The reason being is, whilst you are holding the arrow select button down, the game enters slow time for approximately, from when you press the button, 5 seconds. Now, why is that useful for us? The reason why that's useful for us is because it can make the game, if you can use it very well, steady on, if you can use it well, it can make the game a lot easier. And we like things that make the game a lot easier. Now, some people regard this as cheating or exploiting. It's neither. It is a game mechanic. This would be in the category of cheesing, exploiting, cheating. This would very much be in the cheesing category. The reason being is because this is a mechanic being used in its intended way. We are just abusing it to the nines, which is very much a cheesing thing. So we're doing that because it's extremely powerful. Slow motion is probably the most powerful weapon that you have in your entire arsenal. Reason being is because there's a lot of factors to it. Slow time obviously gives you time to react. Whilst you're using slow time, you are faster than the enemies. If you imagine we were watching The Flash, he sees us in slow motion because he is moving so fast. Same sort of thing, same sort of principle. I'm sure some DC nerd will tell me that's completely wrong, but I don't know, it sounded right to me. And DC nerds unite. And it's just very, very powerful to use. And what I do, and what anybody who is playing this to a higher cycle, thank you, Sean, the best cheese in the game indeed. The higher cycle side of things, or before I get to the higher cycle side of things, but I suppose it all ties in. You want to be abusing slow time as much as possible, and you'll see that me and very many other players have developed, and again, this came from Siege of Heaven, because in Siege of Heaven you need it to slow down the action so that you can score well. Here, it saves your life. You slow-mo, and what my technique would be to fire and instantly hit that slow-mo button again. And then fire and instantly hit that slow-mo button again. And fire. Now, you can't activate the quiver select whilst you have an arrow engaged or drawn or what have you. So if you're like this, you can't do it. Instead, it switches between your arrows. The problem is, because it does it in a really weird order, it's not really something that I've ever used or found of use. You can save yourself a split second changing an arrow on the fly. I wanted to try and find a use for it in Siege of Heaven, and it was just easier to press slow time to make sure that you pluck the right arrow, which is another use for it as well. You know, not only are you at your most powerful, but you are potentially looking at the ability to grab one of your most powerful arrows. Now, Sean's jumped on with the whole, why do we use it at high cycles? Well, it's because you have to. Enemies take so much damage, so many hits, and the further and further and further you get in cycle, not only do they take more damage, but the enemies don't do more damage. I suppose the level does. Yeah, probably. No enemy does more than one hit, so yeah, the hits, the further you go, the more damaging a hit is. So I suppose you could say the enemies are doing more damage. The reason why we abuse it to the absolute nines at the higher cycles is because you have to. It allows you to maintain accuracy, allows you to keep on hitting the head. Like, for instance, abominations, like even cycle 12 and beyond, if you're not hitting them in the head, even just an abomination, and bear in mind they can take 5 or 6 hits to the head. If you're not hitting them in the head, they're not staggering as much. Actually, abominations are a bad example. And as Sean's saying, the thing that I'm getting at here is that everything speeds up as well as becomes more damaging. And so you can put the entire game into that whole matrix side of things. I'm doing it now. You can see I'm hitting the slow motion button between every shot. The other thing that it can do as well is it can buy you a breather if you need it. As we've talked about, holding the bow up like this all fucking day is not ideal. I can, not only can I like abuse the slow time button and give my arm a rest, you'll see that my arms come down, but I'm also looking around and I can see that there's a Cupid there. He's going to shoot, but it's probably going to hit the wing. Hope it's going to hit the wing. Of course it's going to hit the wing. So yeah, it allows you to check your surroundings, line up shots as well. That's another quite important element of it, or can be. Hello. And what else can slow time do for us? So we've covered quiver select. We've covered being able to slow down enemies and projectiles and staggering them. Although what Sean says about slow down the projectiles, that's not the most important point. Because if you are playing the game steady and carefully and well, you should never be shot at, ever. And that will be something that Sean will hopefully start to see very soon. But yes, it does slow down projectiles, but my point is, you shouldn't have projectiles being fired at you. If you are playing the game slowly, methodically, carefully, and luring one enemy out at a time, then there is no you should not be giving enemies time to hit you, and if you are or time to even shoot, and if you are abusing slow time to a massive amount, then they shouldn't even have time to attack you. They should be constantly staggered. It will. It will. It will. It takes time. I'm like, you know, I'm not perfect at that, and I suffer from the same problem that Beanie has, in that we've done it so many times and do it so often and just want a bit of action, that patience kind of goes out the window. As I've spoken about before, I consider myself a very patient person in real life. However, when it comes to games, I am not a patient person, and I think the reason being is because I just want to have fun. I want to go out and enjoy myself. That's why I love Runner so much. That's why I like the speed tournaments and elements of the game. I like all elements of the game, but give me a choice between speed or slow and methodical, and I'll take speed every time. This is part and parcel, though, of why the likes of Travis and LG are and have been at the top of leaderboards with ridiculous scores, because of patience. You cannot, and it with how they have changed the game recently, so that it's a terrible shot. How they have changed the game. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you should be you should try and play the game with a level of patience when you are learning it, and when you are getting to grips when you're getting to grips with the higher cycle play. You should play with an element of patience. I know I started that way, but I soon gravitated towards the quicker style of play, and that was more to do with the crossbow side of things. And then I found that the speed that I made myself go at in the crossbow, which is, well, in the early cycles anyway, a more advantageous way to play the crossbow, I was then able to bring that across to the bow as well. But yeah, the ridiculous scores you will get with patience. Guaranteed. But The problem why you will never see me do that on a live stream, I mean, I could attempt it on the PICO, but then I'm getting millions for not really any reason, because the scoring bar is not that high, not set that high on as far as PICO users are concerned. So there's no real point banging in a huge tens of millions score. And the other thing is the game has, I wouldn't say evolved, sidestepped a little bit in regards of the fact that now you can take fatal damage from full life and with having a Titan, which means that you would have the full 12 blocks of life. Someone remind me, what is it, cycle 13 now? That you would, is it cycle 13? Hang on. First 4 cycles are normal, and then cycle 5 is 2, cycle 3 is 3. Yeah, I think it's cycle 13. So from cycle 13 and onwards, or is it 15? I can't remember. But from a cycle and onwards, you could, because I haven't played it yet, not in this mode, you can take fatal damage, i.e. all 12 blocks of life. So you can die in one hit if you have no armor and you have already used your... cheers, Laurent. Is it 12? Is it 12? I thought it was... No, it's 13. No, it's 15, isn't it? I can't remember. I'll work it out in a minute. I can't do it right now. It is 15. I knew it. It said 15 first. Thank you, Laurent. Yeah. So, yeah. It doesn't suit my style of play and the fact that I am not as patient as the top players, because I can die to one of those silly mistakes. At least previously, if I had 3 armors and I got a bit bored and got a bit carried away and then took a hit and then maybe another, I could stop. I could even afford to take 4 hits and then I would be down to 6 life. Take my 3 armors plus a hit at maximum damage previously, and I would be down to 6 life. And then hopefully there would be a Blood of the Lamb back in the level somewhere and I could pick it up and, you know, I can at least then take 2 hits before I'm dead. Now, once your armors are gone, I was keeping them talking whilst I was waiting for you, dude. If your armors are gone, you are literally 1 hit away from death. And we all know how holy armors show up in clumps and bunches when you've got maximum, but they don't show up or it doesn't feel like they show up very often when you need them. So yeah, my point is, even I might not be able to get into the 10, 15, 20 millions, especially with doing the whole cycle skipping that I do, where the first 10 cycles of the game I'll just rooftop hop and get all the way to the and just charge through the bosses. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, Bloods are more commonplace, aren't they? But yeah, when you need doubles to happen and you haven't had doubles happen for ages, that's when they will not happen. Yeah, which isn't ideal. Which isn't ideal. Yeah, you need to cover that camera inside the headset, Sean, and then the game wouldn't be able to read that it needs to give you singles. But you must, since I said to you about like always treating everything like it's a double and only picking them up when you need a double, that you must have seen some sort of improvement in the odds a little bit, hopefully. Hello, Cyborg, and this game is available on all platforms. However, the game on Steam is arguably more beautiful on PC VR, but it is not the same game. So, In Death is the original game that is on PC VR. That game is no longer being supported and is potentially well, is basically half of what this game is. Like, for instance, the level that we're in now, the Abyss, does not exist in Death on the PC VR. The other level that Super Bright developed for this, because they're basically two different developers, but in essence the same game and IP. So I suppose the short answer to your question is yes, it's available on all platforms, but In Death, which you will find on PC VR, is half the game that Unchained is. In that there's a lot less achievements, there's a lot less levels, there isn't really much difference in enemies. There are some different arrows, but I think ultimately the number is similar. The graphics obviously take a massive bump up in the PC VR side of things. See, this is another thing as well that we might need to talk about, because I've got a very capable PC now, which means that I could start looking at PC VR, and I do have the original In Death. So maybe, just maybe, that'll actually be a thing, because I'll be able to play it in glorious mode, ultra high everything, I would imagine. So maybe that's something that we will do on another stream. I would, if I was given the choice, and I didn't have, I mean, I do have a top level PC VR now, but I don't play PC VR games, so I'm probably the worst person to ask for it. But if I was, oh yeah, I had to. My old rig was starting to die on me with what I'm planning on doing soon, and it hasn't been up to where I'm getting to with my editing for quite a while. I haven't actually looked at Into the Radius on Pico 4 yet, or I've had a quick look and it just looked better and the draw distance was better. I'm waiting to play that through for when I got my lenses, which I now have. I now have my lenses inside my Pico, so I am a real boy. Yes, I know. But the problem with PC VR, as I know it, is once you go PC VR, why would you ever go back? And then, of course, I'd lose the love for In Death Unchained very quickly and would probably stop streaming it. So if that's what you want, well, that's what'll happen. Let's go and get these skulls on Asmo. Because once you start seeing the level and the graphics and the capability on PC VR, how could you go back to native, especially if it's as easily accessible? I'm a big pusher of wanting to play games without a tether. I hate the tether. I'm not getting a PlayStation VR 2 because it has a tether. And again, I don't think a lot of people understand that, but as you guys know, I move around in my play space. I don't use snap turn. I can't use smooth turn. It destroys my brain. So having a tether is absolutely a no-go for me. Which is part of the reason why I never really got into the PC VR thing. Not just that I didn't have the PC capable. Yeah, oh, I know. Oh, missed it. I'm trying to be impressive. Hang on, I'll get it this time. Damn it, no. You should use slow-mo at this, but I'm challenging myself. Yeah, so yeah, I've kind of double whammied myself. I've got this PC for editing purposes, not for gaming. It just so happens that to be a good editing computer, it also needs, and a good streaming computer, it also needs to be very capable. So now I've got a 4070, and not only that, but I do have a very capable network, which means that I can stream wirelessly to my headset. And don't get me wrong, I am tempted. Oh, I'm tempted. There's no... Yes! 2 for 6. It's not that I'm not tempted, I am extremely tempted, but I know where that rabbit hole goes, and it's probably going to end up me playing games that you lot might not be interested in, basically. that is one of the decisions that I kind of have to make. In that, how many of you here play PC VR? Because as I understand it, the vast majority of you guys are au natural and native players. And I think it's quite important that I'm playing and showing how to play games that the people who are watching me can actually play. There's also the price tag. Like, you could say, yeah, well, you know, people will get a new game, you know, will get the game if they like it, and you're playing it and they like what they see. But it isn't just getting a game and a headset then, is it? It's getting a game and a headset and shelling out thousands of pounds on a PC as well. Barrier for entry, people. That's what we're talking about here. Maybe I'll do some PC VR in my own time. But maybe I'll, like, I don't know, take my lenses out so that it doesn't look anywhere near as good as native. Then that's not a bad idea, actually. I could do that. What a great idea. Well done, me. I'll take my lenses out when I play PC VR so it looks shit, but then all of you lot will get to see it in all of its glory, and then I won't have anything to complain about when I go back to native. I'm a genius. I mean, my optician probably won't say the same, but I'm a genius. Just trying to go quick. Oh, I don't even need to. Don't even need to. Maybe. As I said, I've got the facilities, I've got virtual desktop, and I've got all of the bits and pieces that I need. I'm scared. Very, very scared. Imagine all those great games and great experiences that I'll never be able to go back to. One of the games I keep on, because obviously I'm chat with people that have got PC VR a lot, and one of the things that I keep using with those people is when they do a good Warhammer or Warhammer 40k game, I am going PC VR. And I'm talking like Warhammer Total War levels of good, or maybe, as I understand, oh mate, I'm chatting whilst I'm doing it. Yeah, no, don't do the, he won't have even got to Abyss yet. This is like spoiler alert massively. So I'll teach you how to do this when the time's right. Yeah, we're farming. This is because I've got some arrows. Now, you might be asking, hello Cynthia. Happy to have you. So, one of the that didn't make sense. What did you just say? Oh, right, okay. No, fair enough. I don't see, to be fair, I don't really want to spoil the way for anybody who hasn't done. No, that's cool. I kind of don't want to spoil the boss for him then. Don't want to show the steps, because I remember when I first played it, it was the two very cool elements of this game. I mean, there was more than two. But two of the coolest elements that were in this game was fighting Asmodeus for the first few times and working him out. I made a point of not finding guides, or learn how to do him, or learning better ways to do him, or quicker ways to do him. I did that after I'd defeated him on my own part. And the other cool thing was that the game got harder the longer you played it, with like red knights and black knights and the different coloured monks. I thought that was amazing at the time. That's very roguelike, that element of the as you progress, things getting harder. Right, this game finished. Have we run out now? That'll do. And we still need Abyss kills. Abyss. Still need Cupid kills. There we go. I'll teach you how to do this guy proper. One day. That was not it. That was a very laborious way, but the reason why I was doing that is because I wanted to farm the Cupids. Now, you'll have seen that I was killing the Cupids with Cupid's Wrath. Cupid's Wrath doesn't actually have an upgraded form. However, we do need to get Cupid kills as one of our achievements, and one of the things that I can tell anybody who's going through the achievements, Cataclysm is a very good arrow, especially in the early doors of the game, and when you start getting into the later cycles, it's even good then. You will graduate off of Cataclysm, I think, but you want it at its strongest. Oh, I might as well go get that golden bat. You want it at its strongest, and one of the ways to get it at its strongest is to upgrade Cataclysm by getting 666 kills with it. It then does an extra 25% damage. So surely you need to get kills with Cataclysm, right? Nope. For some reason, the explosions of Cupid's Wrath count toward the upgraded Cataclysm version. So make use of Cupid's Wrath, because although it doesn't have an upgrade itself, getting kills with it upgrades Cataclysm. Alright, let's get some bat headshots. Yep, get all over slow play and ingrain it onto your soul from as early a time as you can. Make it the way that you play. You will have such an easier time of it. You really will. And it's enjoyable as well. This game goes from a very hard game. Yeah, there you go. See, Sean's at that level now, and hopefully you're at volley 5. Hello, Mr. Don't tango me. The thing is, as well, I suppose it's one of the other things, is part of the reason why I always loved IDU, or I still love IDU, is that the slow time accommodates the fact that I like to turn in VR very nicely. It gives me those few seconds to react and do the bits and pieces. I can demonstrate that later if we have time. I'm sure he won't be. Because the thing is, if he hasn't done... Oh, that was a waste. We're after headshots. Oh, I could get some shield kills. Ready, go. Easy. I find that technique a lot easier than trying to flap the shield around and smash them. Literally hold the shield out in front of you and walk into them. There was a time, curse Super Bright, we used to be able to get headshots out of that. No, don't let him. Just let him play Abyss. What my advice would be for you, Rich, would be don't look at any guides or how-tos to do Asmodeus. And the reason being is because if you can learn how to do them yourself, well, first off, that's an endorphin rush on its own, and it will also then, you'll have figured the techniques out yourself, which will make you a better player, I guarantee it. Then you go and have a look at my videos on how to really take the piss on him. And if you really, really, really struggle, then we'll tell you about some things that can help a little. But I think you can. I've never met you. I've never seen you play. I think you're capable. Get that slow time down. Everything's possible within this game. Everything. Oh, no wonder we're on cycle 2. Woo. Oh, okay, cool. Good. And I don't think we need any kills for Wrath of God, so sod that. Let's get that golden bat. No, he's not, but as I said, once you've completed it... The thing is, I didn't know about the brown monk thing. I didn't know about the brown monk thing when I first played. But that comes afterwards. Learn a thing at its hardest and then make it easier for yourself is a better way, I think. And but the thing is, if you really, really, really struggle, I'd never want to put any roadblocks in front of players. But I wouldn't want anybody here. I wouldn't like to think that anybody here who would watch me and then played this game for the first time would watch all of my videos on absolutely everything, because you're kind of spoiling the game for yourself. But if you can already kill Asmodeus, then you start learning all the little techniques to make it easier, and you'll have an easier time because of it. I think it's the best way to learn. I really do. Yeah, the brown monk thing. Have you killed Asmo? You have, haven't you? You said you've made it through. You've made it through cycle and you've killed Asmo. If you know, we'll tell you. If you haven't, then we won't. When you have, come and ask, and I'll show you. Ooh. Go to shop. As I said, it's not gatekeeping or, you know, trying to hide information or anything along those lines. Well, there we go then. Spoiler alert! Don't read that. Oh, okay, no, you're fine. Read that. Yeah, you just killed the brown monk. As Sean's just said, you just killed the brown monk at the end, and then avoid the abominations like the plague on his third form, and kill nothing, and the cupids won't spawn, which is probably the hardest part of the Asmo fight, and all you've got to do is dodge out of the way of abominations. Alright, let's see if we can get one. Ow! Hello, feet! But then, as you'll have seen, the reason why I did what I did is because I'm after kills with specific arrows. That wasn't even a headshot. I'm after kills with specific arrows. And so because of that, anything that produces enemies, boss-wise or enemy-wise, I thought I'd grab a golden axe. A golden axe? A golden bat. We've got achievements. That's part and parcel of it. It's all part of the work. Yeah, Tempest is one way. Tempest should be and will remain for you one of the best arrows since sliced bread. And we'll just leave it at that for now, because you do want to use it, you do want to make use of it. Like, for instance, one of the things that I can tell you, which you might not know, is that headshots on Gabriel with Tempest is a very fast way to take out Gabriel. He is the second boss, the boss on Paradise Lost. And you want to aim your Tempest shots just above where you think you should, and providing you catch it within the cone of Tempest, he'll literally just be headshot, 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 headshot. You can take him down in about 20 Tempest shots that way. He can be a very fast boss. Very fast. Damn. Oh yeah, Tempest as a new starter, Tempest is the arrow that you should be using. It just makes everything so much easier. But let me tell you now, there will be a time where you will have to snub Tempest. Tempest is very much the training wheels of this game. But that doesn't mean that you know, to learn to ride a bike, you've got to start somewhere, and you've got to start with the training wheels. Well, we need those ghost kills. Oh, we might as well do a pit as well. Top tip for you on ghosts: aim slightly to the right. When they are coming at you, aim slightly to the right of the red spot. Red spot, fuck me, of the white mark. Too late, I've kind of already spoiled it. So, yeah, with the ghosts, aim slightly to the right. The reason being is, as they are floating towards you, their arm is outstretched and their body is out to the side, and it kind of shifts the hitbox. So, and which way they come at you? That way, yeah. So you're shooting slightly to the right of the mark. Do I even need to get exorcists? I don't know what I'm doing down here. No, this should be latest desolation, I think, Fee, if I'm right. Might as well get some cataclysm kills. I can't think of what... I'll be honest, if that has been extra... No, this has... I want to go get that golden bat first. And then we'll go back for the pit. Oh yeah, it's extensive and vast. The problem is, I remember the more games I play, the more things are being pushed out of my brain. So, you know, I'm fully expected to forget how to breathe one day. Again, a lot of what I've picked up is from... I stand very much on the shoulders of giants. For the Right is the one that has discovered a lot of the things that I'm repeating. Wrath of God, correct use, just like that. Why? Hang time. The longer that arrow hangs in the air, the more shots it is capable of. Or the more sparks of green. Wrath of God is a great arrow, but if you're using it like this, well, that doesn't even do that doesn't even do enough to kill a bloody monk on cycle 2. So what you want to do is you want to arc it in as shallow an arc as you can and to a reasonable height. And the more hang time that it gets, the more pulses of green electricity that it will do, and the more pulses of green electricity it does, the more damage it does. Still, it's a good arrow, but it's one of those ones that you want to not rely on quite fast. It's, yeah. Ooh, holy light. Oh, we haven't got any summoners. So one of the other things I was saying about earlier was... enemies that summon enemies, or bosses that summon reinforcements. For instance, Asmo and Anakin, the first boss, and the summoners in... where's the golden... Oh, I killed it, didn't I? That's what the bong was about. Right, we need to go do the pit. All enemies that summon enemies, those enemies do count for points. Oh, right, I should clarify that. Summoners, their abominations that they summon with the yellow stars on their head do not count for points or gold. So you can't just sit there and farm them to get millions and millions of points. However, they do count towards kills. And so because they count toward kills, you can farm them with arrows that you are looking at upgrading. It's a great way to upgrade your arrows. Boss enemies, some of the ones that respawn... Ones that are summoned, like on Anakin, can be farmed to an extent. And then enemies that are summoned by Asmodeus do not count for anything. The Cupids, for instance. Which is part of the reason why nobody ever fights them anymore, because they know of an easier way. Right, we need to get some ghosts. I need to have a smoke. And so this is part of the reason why, as I was saying, Richard, I love answering questions, because yes, I do have a lot of knowledge rattling around in my head. I may have actually forgotten more than some know about IDU, but accessing that knowledge and then being able to give it out to people so that it's helpful is why I insist on people asking me questions. Steady. It helps me. It helps me get the information out of my thick skull. So you see I'm aiming slightly. Not massively. If you imagine where the white mark is, you want to hit on the right-hand side. Center to center right. Although you can make your life a lot easier in the pit just by bringing one particular arrow, which we don't have. Pits will be a struggle for you, and probably one of the next big hurdles, or rather, you probably can complete them, but You might find them tough going. There are things that you can do to make them easier. Winter's Bite and Barrage of Needles. Barrage of Needles are fantastic for ghosts. Also remember that plugging them with loads of arrows as they're coming at you does actually slow them. And whilst you are plugging them, they can't get you. Oh, I'm sure he has. Oh, skeleton archers. Our favourite. So as I said, skeleton archers. The worst enemies going. Highly rated a C on difficulty. So yeah, multiple shots that aren't like. I'll try and recreate it. If I shoot slightly to the left, no, that went straight in. If you shoot slightly to the left of that, a lot of the time you'll miss. But yeah, plugging. Ghosts, even when they're close. As long as you keep going, they can't do anything. You're doing very well then for somebody who's only just started out. Excellent work. Well done. But yeah, as I say, this is why I insist on as many questions as I can get thrown my way, because it keys me in to talk about things that should be useful, hopefully, and or interesting. Ooh, ow. Yeah, always. God, we're on low life now. Doesn't really matter, we're just here for ghosts. I'll do some dancing for you in a minute and show you how powerful locomotion is. Who should we do some dancing with? We'll do some dancing with a skeleton. So what you'll see I'm doing at the moment is, because my timing is immaculate, this is why I'll get here telling you now, locomotion is almost as powerful a tool as slow time. And the reason being, good evening, Mr. Vega. The reason why locomotion is a very powerful tool is enemies will fire at where you are going to if you are locomotioning that way. Enemies will fire where you are if you are standing still. Para-exemplar, shot fired at me, I can move out of the way. Shot fired at me, I can move out of the way. But I don't need to turn my head because the arrows aren't fast enough, especially at distance. Whereas if I am already moving, you'll see that that arrow would have hit me if I'd carried on. So we move, he fires, and then I stop. That was a bad example. Moving. No, it's not wanting it. Moving, stop. Ooh, move, moving, stop. Wow, you're not even trying, dude. Might be able to make him hit the pillar with this. See, he hit that pillar because he knew he was basically trying to lead me with his arrow. Cheaty little skeleton. And that's why he hit that pillar, because he was leading me. So the lesson, here is the lesson, is if you are moving and something is shot at you, stop, and the arrow will go where you were going to. If you are standing still and an arrow is fired at you, move, and the arrow will go to where you were. So the enemies will always react based on the player movement. The same is true with axes thrown by knights, fireballs, and various bits and pieces. Yeah, no, if you got masteries, a very good achievement to get early doors as well, because I think it's masteries that give you the extra blocks of life, and extra blocks of life are always very good. Being able to basically stay alive in the game longer is always a boon. Right, let's have a quick check of field battery. We are at 2 bar. Better change that. Let's pop that one in. Bing bing. Put that one there. Put that one there. And the battery cycle continues. So let's get this pit. Well, actually, no, we don't even need to. I'm here for ghosts, basically. And there's actually, yeah, we need the incubi. Won't die yet. I do indeed. I am all about player time. Some of them, bear in mind, are... I usually put them in the descriptions and in the comments, but there's 1 or 2 that are a bit outdated now because of changes that have been made by Superbright. Oh, here's Parrot Exemplar. Let's do it with that. Hang on. Hold on. Trying to lesson. So, Barrage of Needles. Nice easy kills. Because ghosts don't take barely any damage at all to put down, at the earlier cycles anyway, even a single flechette of Barrage of Needles, a single one of those hitting anywhere within that white spot will kill it. Which then it's kind of a reverse, well, kind of the opposite to how Tempest helps us. So Tempest allows you to hit those really far away shots because you're not having to rely on the precision of the arrow hitting. You've got the magic around the arrow doing the job for you. And then at close, you're not having to rely on the precision of your shooting up close. You can just scattershot them with a Barrage of Needles. So it's a very good arrow. Bless it, it used to be a very good scoring arrow. But we shan't talk about that. No. Old news now, old hat. Bring back Barrage of Needles when it was the king of scoring. Note how he threw that axe, and it's going to where I was standing a second ago. And these are all things that you can, the earlier you can start working into your game, the easier this game can become for you, especially the earlier cycles. That's how progress is made. You might have some competition, Sean. Might have some competition. I think you have been one of the fastest progress. And now this guy. Yes. Yeah, that is definitely not that's a limitation that the game has been put in. I think it's to avoid swarming players. But it's probably also a performance limitation side of things. My point is, it will be... Uh-oh. Ow. Oh, I need that. I need you. Don't shoot me. Garbage arrow for taking her out. That'll do. Come on. I'm going to need these. Any life? No. Do it all on then. I don't think there's many ghosts up here. We've done everything that we need to do. So yeah, I think it's a core. Well, I wouldn't say the percentages are that high. I merely show you the doors. So, as far as the game is concerned, and that our rule of 17, and that there can only be 17 enemies displayed technically on screen at or in your immediate vicinity in time, because that is something that is hard encoded and embedded, and probably was to match the limitations of the quest to begin with, and then was done for the quest 2. It still holds true because it's a core part of the programming. Negate what? I just do some streams, tell you guys some things. That's all. Yeah, it's a lot of hours. I remember doing that. I remember not being able to get off IDU. It was awesome and horrible, the amount of things that I was late for. Ridiculous. Right, what do we need to do? I don't think we need to do anything. It's not AE. You've got to put some work in yourself. I can't do everything. I can't do everything for you. You've got to have... The thing is, you've got to have willing to press on with it as well. Hello, Kicking. Well, it's very nice of you to say. But I'd say it's more. I'd say 50%. So note, just as confirmation for you all. Note how kill 666 enemies with Cataclysm. I have not used a single Cataclysm. No, the curse has very much been lifted, Kicking. well, yeah, 50%. You need to get a t-shirt, don't you? So we haven't used a single Cataclysm. We haven't actually got a single kill during this 0% or from 0% run. It's not a 0% run anymore. I should really change that title. But haven't used a single Cataclysm. So how are we 83% through the upgrade to get the additional bonus damage? And the reason being is because kills with Cupids count towards this. I also think that kills with Incursion would also do the same as well. Because I think, again, the Incursion side of things I haven't tested it with, but I think it is anything that is capable of putting an explosion down affects this. We need to do wildfires. We need to do some more lightnings. Ooh, 3 little clicks coming up soon. One of the things that I would say is a great place to, and it's just because I love Fletcher so much, a great place to level up all of your arrows once you have them available. You need to have them available, otherwise the level up progress won't count. You can do so in here, and then although you might not always be firing the arrows that you want to, you'll often be firing arrows that are going towards... When you're down to like you maybe last 1 or 2 arrows, it's probably not so great. But in the early days when you've got Fletcher unlocked and you're looking at putting some real work into some of these arrows, Fletcher is great. I will also draw your attention to no achievements progression within Fletcher. This is a super bright lie. I will also draw your attention to Runner. Oh no, they took it. Oh no, it probably never was on Runner then. Anyway, that's a lie. So let's see. Lightning, Flame, Cupid, and yeah, you'll have the demonic sigils open, and I would recommend doing Fletcher once you have all of your arrows unlocked to push for the upgrades, because Fletcher is basically every arrow drawn is a random special arrow, but every time you miss, you take damage. It's a very fun mode, or at least I find it very fun the way I play it. So, kill Screamers. Yeah, we can do that. We can get that tonight as well. Oh, I hate that it doesn't. See, this is the other thing as well, is I always end up turning and 180ing because I'm using the button to try and navigate this menu, and it doesn't work like that, but other games do that. I still need Winter's Bite. What have I been doing with my time? Headshots on bats. Ugh. And, yeah, Fletcher's really good. I have a special way to play it because I'm a special boy. But I'm sure we'll... Well, I've got loads of streams. Go back through some of my streams. You'll see the crazy shit that I get up to. Fletcher is a very hard game to play. Keep its wrath. We could do with that. Right, let's go get some more golden bats. And yeah, don't worry about your... Well, yeah, but when you pick up IDU kicking, you'll be a fucking god after all the blathering on that I've done. It'll be like Limitless when you take the pill, when you take the drug, and like it unlocks 100% of your brain, so you remember everything that was ever said. Why am I on Fletcher? It'll be just like that. You'll be an IDU genius. Yeah. Right. So let's go get the golden bat. We need to go to Purgatory for that. And then we're now going to chase down the golden bat, and we're also going to put that on and try and get some kills with some certain special arrows. Right, what are we on? We've only been going 2 hours. God, you can tell I've definitely been blathering on. Feels like 5 bloody minutes. Right, so let's get some arrows. In fact, let's first go and check out the shop. So if I was going after arrows kills specifically, then I would always jump straight across, just keep moving, just keep teleport arrowing. They will de-aggro, they will disappear, they'll all de-aggro when you come in here. And then we can have a look and see which ones we need. We probably need Pestilence, but I didn't check. Probably. 89% is very good. However, I would try to... I know it's tempting to, but I would try to ignore worrying too much of anything score-wise, unless it's the achievement that is get 1 million points. And I think there's another one for doing a set amount of damage in one life. Those are at the points where you should stop. What great arrow. Oh, I can show you how to do that. I've got a video on that one. Oh, there's something we need. Yeah, I've got a video that you definitely want to watch. Did you see how I was using Wrath of God earlier? That is very much a thing. I didn't even need to get that headshot. That shot was meant for you. Yeah, I have a video on that one. He's not wrong. It's all there, Richard. It is actually still a hard achievement. There are... Again, it's just one to maybe come back to. There he is, look. It's maybe, as I said, one to come back to. Oh. Me too. Makes my job much easier. So, one of the things to note with... Ooh, thank you very much. Don't mind if we do. One of the things to note with Winter's Bite. What is a Winter's Bite kill? A Winter's Bite kill is a kill performed whilst an enemy is taking tick damage, because it specifically says kill an enemy whilst frozen, or well, yeah, I think it says whilst frozen. So if you do that, that will count. If you do that, that will count. If you do that, and note the tick damage. If the tick damage stops, and I kill him, that does not count as a Winter's Bite kill. So they either need to die instantly from the arrow for it to count, or they need to die whilst you are putting the tick damage on them with another arrow. Ooh, lovely, thank you very much. Need those. God, this lighting. Or die from the tick damage, that's the other one as well. But they either need to be one-shotted like that, you just got to check. You just got to be looking around. You've got to make sure that you go onto the right level. I did used to have a formula for it, in that they were always in the first part of Desolation and the second part of Purgatory, or the other way around. I can't remember. I did a video on it, and I had a specific technique, and that's how I got them all very fast. And then Super Bright changed the configurations of the levels so that some levels didn't have a spawning point for the golden bat in those places. Yes, you might be doing another profile. If you haven't got the 10 bats in one go achievement, that's why you won't see that. What Sean said, yeah, it's kill it. I think it's the kill 10 bats at the same time is the achievement that you need to allow. So he'll, oh no, he won't even die via tick damage. There you go. Yeah, so if you get that one, then you'll be able to start harvesting golden bats. Getting that achievement actually unlocks quite a lot of others. Now the question is, does that count as both kills? I don't know. Yeah, there's definitely some achievements that I'm not looking forward to. One of the things that I will say, I mean, I'm doing it because I spout it. But one of the things that I will say is, I've been quoted as saying that IDU begins at 100%. For anybody who's playing it through the first time, that is definitely true. There will be some wily vets that will say to you, yeah, but you don't need to unlock Pestilence, and you have to specifically kill things in a specific order with arrows that you wouldn't usually use to get that unlock. So, and Pestilence is a garbage arrow, so you don't need it, and you don't need the upgrades for it. My counter to all of this is, well, you want to feel like you've at least completed the game and that there is a journey to be had. Like, for instance, you need to know how to be able to switch arrows quite fast to be able to unlock Pestilence, and therein lies the lesson that you get out of it. You need to know the sort of range that you can get close to a Cupid to be able to bash a Cupid to get the Divine Sight unlocked. Uh-oh. Doing so well. And it's all part and parcel of the game. There's a lot of achievements that I don't need to bother with. I don't need them to be able to do a decent scoring run. There is also the fact that if I don't have those arrows unlocked, then technically, I have a better chance of getting the arrows that I do need, because all of that garbage doesn't exist within the world and so isn't as likely to spawn. But then the problem with playing a game like that is it just takes you to accidentally bonk a Cupid, if you can even do that accidentally, and you'll unlock the arrow. It just takes you to accidentally freeze and then flame arrow a enemy, and you'll unlock that one. There's not too many that are like that, but there are some, and you don't need those ones. But as I said, life begins at 100. IDU begins at 100%. Get the 100% done because you learn a lot about the game during the journey. No, you died anyway. Lovely stuff. Might actually get Winter's Bite done here in this one run. That'd be lovely. Any left? Yes. So, for instance, that will count as a Winter's Bite kill. That's what I was after. Which one would you like? How's about one of these? You can have those. Ooh, we'll definitely get Winter's Bite done at this rate if it keeps on being this generous to us. You'll also see as well that I'm very much, again, it's part of the problem I think even I have when I'm streaming, is I'm very much in... I'm here for achievements. I am not concerned about getting hit. Don't need to be. I don't need to be careful. Ooh, we've already got that one. That won't count as a Winter's Bite kill because he wasn't taking tick damage when I killed him. You are. You're quite right. At least the first time, anyway. The second time it isn't quite... Like, if you are unlocking the second profile, it's not quite as important. Because you don't need everything. You need basically 11 life, maximum headshot, damage, maximum distant damage, and anything that's related to gold, cupids... gold and orphans. And then obviously you need Winter's Bite fully upgraded. And Hand of God, fully upgraded. Volley 5 you would need unlocked, and once you've got all of those, you're pretty much done. One of the arguments that I would still have for making sure that you have, like say, your second profile 100%ed is, I don't know, maybe it's a me problem, I don't know. But one of the problems that I remember used to having with this game is I would be in the mid... Because I didn't have anybody telling me that you need to unlock 100% of the game before you start going after scores on the leaderboard. No one told me that. And so what I did was I was doing exactly what you're doing. I was trying to run multiple... I was trying to run for score when I really shouldn't have been. And after a while, I was like, I know how these games are played. There's no point me really doing any of this until I've got it 100%ed. You know, I'm not at maximum life. I won't have as much survivability as these top players, and so on and so forth. One of the problems that I used to have is, for instance, say I was doing a scoring run, and I was doing really well, and then I would see maybe a Holy Light, and I'd be like, oh, I need to get Holy Light unlocked, don't I? I need to get those kills. Oh, I'll just grab Holy Light. What shall I replace? I'll replace something probably quite important and something that would have actually helped my survivability to then get certain arrows unlocked, and it's the wrong way around to do it. If you're thinking about unlocking arrows within a scoring run, you are doing it wrong. Talking of doing it wrong, I don't think we need to... Oh, we've got a pit, haven't we? We've got a pit. One little tidbit of knowledge for you, Rich, is that orphans are always in the last location of a level. So of a world, so to speak, except Abyss. I think that's the same with Desolation as well. So, like, for instance, the third section of Purgatory, just before you get to Anakin's fortressy cathedraly ruin, that's where your orphan will always be. On Paradise Lost, it's always in the second section of Paradise Lost. And in Desolation, I think we tested that the other week, or a few weeks back now. It's always in the last section of Desolation before you get to that big walkway, the big courtyardy area with all the rocks and rubble and ruin. And in Abyss, it can be in either the first or second section. Knowing exactly where the orphan is going to spawn, well, not where, but in the general locale, stops you getting surprised by it. Stopping getting surprised by orphans stops you getting killed quite as badly. She's around the corner. Lovely. That was a good one. Ugh, Paradise Lost. I still didn't check. Still didn't check. Alright. Not doing this very clever or carefully, but what you should do... Oh, we do need these though. What you should do is slowly progress through this and draw individual enemies. By drawing, I mean get close enough so that they are within visual range of you, so you haven't had to shoot any arrows, and then let them come to you. The only problem with doing that and not taking your background into consideration is, say for instance I shoot this guy and I miss, that's now alerted enemies behind and brings even more in. So you've got two options: don't miss, or move to somewhere where missing doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if I shoot an arrow into that wall, or even if it clatters over there. But if I'm facing this way on the enemy, well then it draws, in every miss draws more in. This is like one of the #1 reasons why a player would die or take a lot of damage in the pit. It's because you get swarmed. It's very easy to do because they are reasonably small levels with difficult enemies. Ghosts in groups are a nightmare. Individually, they ain't too bad. You can keep it to individually by doing what I'm doing. So like there's that skeleton there. I've moved so that I'm in visual range. If I fire and miss, I'll alert something else. So we'll move across. And we'll shoot him from there. Oh, we need these. Ooh, lovely. Probably a bit of a waste. Should save them for the abominations. And then you get me being nice leap, dude. And then you get me being me. I just want to get through it and get it done. Don't play like this. Note how I'm not using my slow time as well. And it's part and parcel of the problem that I have as well. Steady. Is I am genuinely trying to be entertaining and playing the way that LG plays, and even LG will tell you it is not entertaining to watch. The very slow and methodical play. It's as boring as it is to play when you get to that level as it is to watch. He's got the patience for it, but even he knows that it wouldn't make good content or good streaming, which is why you would rarely see, like, it's part of the reason why LG hasn't done a lot of videos, because when you've seen how he plays once, you've seen how he plays everything. Credit to the man as well. I can't do that. I can't do that. I need a little bit of speed in my life from time to time. Right. No, let's save those. What have we got that needs using? You. And again, good old barrage of needles, and we do need kills for these. Ghosts are probably one of the easiest ones to get kills with barrage of needles on. Just need to hit that white spot. Double up. Boom. 2 for 1. Don't even know if that counts. Probably. Does leave me with the problem of actually being out of. Out of barrage of needles. LG is amazing. And I'm not saying that anybody and everybody can play like that. I'm kind of saying that I can't play like that. Not like all the time. That's my problem. As I say, credit to the man. Can you die by the lightning, please? Thank you. Make me. Actually, no. Let's keep it. Lovely. Cheeky ones, eh? Right, we've got the orphan. Oh, we just need to get the ghosts and leave. I have got some achievements that I want to get. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So that's the thing, is like... Oh, ghost. Purist is a bit of a departure. I know LG got good at Purist because it was similar enough to the way that he played already, but different enough to be interesting. His heart would have literally been in his mouth for nearly every boss battle because of the way that me and others like him are trying to teach everybody on how to do them, that there is a meta and a specific set of techniques and arrows that you should use to do them. And a big part of that is the old slow time crutch. And if you don't have that, well, that can make any boss your last in a lot of things. We need these. We need these. That doesn't count now. What? He didn't use vanilla arrows all the way to cycle 20, did he? If he did, he didn't tell me that. I'd go as far as to say that you would need one hell of an arm to do that, especially on the likes of like Gabriel. Jeez. And if you were going for score. But then using just vanilla arrows is a very good way to score. It's the other thing that I suppose you don't get is that by using special arrows, unless you are hitting headshots with them, you're doing extra and additional damage with most special arrows, and all of the damage that you are doing to enemies when you're looking at the scoring game, all the damage that you are doing to special enemies that is not headshots, or all the damage that you are doing to enemies that is headshots but is doing additional damage because it's a special arrow, it's all wasted points. Every bit of HP that you take off of an enemy that isn't part of it being headshotted is a waste. But that's my game to play. You get to enjoy, new starters get to enjoy the game for now, then it gets to the grind. But this is part and parcel of the reason why I like Fletcher. There's all these amazing looking arrows with really cool effects, and I want to use them, and I want to play with them, and I want to be rewarded for using them, but you're almost punished for doing so, which is a bit of a shit. Like, for instance, even this is quite liberating, using Winter's Bite on regular enemies. I don't do this. The only thing I use Winter's Bite on is skeleton archers, and then bosses. Well, that's not just normal arrows then, is it? I do Gabriel with vanilla arrows and Hand of God. That's the way. That's the way to score big off of him. Let's put that one on there. Like, you know, that's terrible for scoring, because those aren't headshots, those are body shots. So, but it doesn't matter, because we're just here to have a good time. Get a couple of achievements, pop some achievos. That's all we're doing. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Again, as I said, it's one of the keys to scoring. Domination with vanillas. Oh, it's a lovely room to fill with some lightning. There we go. Yeah, probably better off leaving Cupids for Oh, come on! What? What's this about? Fellas, if you could calm down a little bit, I think my lightning's balked. What's this? Is this a dummy quiver? Let's try again, shall we? No. Oh, yep, there we go. There we go. Only 36 million. Never would I thought I would hear those two those numbers and words combination. Only 36 million. Yeah, I've been in the top 10 now and on this game on lots of categories so many times now that I know the amount of time it will take me to do that again, and I've done it enough. The big problem that I've got, as I'm constantly whinging on about, is I haven't got the reward to drive myself to do it. So I'd rather spend what time I have to play the game just teaching it, I guess. Because, or at least, you know, showing you guys what I know. Like, I'm up to Legend rank 9 and Legend rank 10. There are no rewards. The thing is, I'm such a shallow person when it comes to rewards. All they need to do is give me, like, I don't know, the ability to unlock a green fucking glove, and I would probably bin, what, 120 plus hours into the game to get where I needed to be on the leaderboards to make sure that I got enough legend points to get those things. I am a skin whore. But no. Nothing for old silver. So, we're almost finished. I shall finish that one off. Winter's Bite's really common, though. I mean, Winter's Bite 3 isn't as common, but still same thing. Yeah. I want... Although, if a game is good enough, it doesn't need progression. It's one of the things that I've seen with Breaches that people have been talking about recently. Now, I think Breaches is set apart. It is a fantastic competitive game. It's the one that I was playing with, where we had the like spray foam. I played it with Mac and Shuey and Indy. And as great a game as it is, a lot of people are criticising it because it hasn't got any sort of level of progression. There's no progression system within the game. And I'll be honest, I don't think it needs it. It's a strong enough game without progression. This game, the progression is actually part of the game, so that's fine. But still, when you've done it as many times as I have, I want to get rewarded, and I don't think it's too much to ask to just, you know, change a couple of assets and change the colours on them. But it obviously must be a lot more work than I'm giving it credit for. Otherwise, I'm sure they would have done it. Not for me, but just because, you know, they could do it easily. But as Beanie said, there's only a handful of guys and himself still on the game, and they're just making sure that it doesn't die. Oh, that's something that you lot can tell me, because I haven't played it on the PICO for a while. Yes, that's quite right. You guys should be able to tell me what happened. I saw... Oh, we need that. We definitely need that one, because that one's quite a difficult one to unlock. I'll take that over Pestilence. Thank you very much. Especially for this level. And what we'll do is we'll kill all the big enemies so that it just flicks between the Cupids and takes out multiple of them with one hit. And bop. Ah, not close enough. Nope, that was a miss. Hey, there we go. There's some. Lovely. Ooh, Cupid's Wrath. Take more of that. Ooh, Quiver as well. Lovely. Get loads done here. Oh, if I hit them. I still think Azure's Wrath... I mean, it's not an arrow that you would pick up, but it is one that I like using. I like the effect of it. Yes, it's piss poor damage, but that, I love it. It's brilliant. One of the other things that Azure's Wrath has got going for it, especially in the early game, is it's one of the few enemies where its special effect actually stagger enemies. And that's quite a unique thing. Like lightning balls, the damage that the lightning balls do don't stagger enemies. I'll show you. I mean, it kills things, but look, these guys don't stagger. They carry on moving. They carry on moving through the lightning. Whereas if I Azure's Wrath... Oh, Fires yours. Oh, yeah. Headshots are not really going to do it. If I do that, you'll see that the... God, oh, that was 2. Oh. Just the ones associated with the arrows. I need to go and check on some bits and pieces now anyway. I'm not being very careful or clever. But I do want to see where we are, how far we are off those next clicks. Alright, so we've almost got Winters done. Probably had enough Cupids to do that then. I didn't mean to die then, I was just blathering away. We've almost got Lightning. I wanted to check on Pestilence and see where we are with that one. Because I've got a feeling I've already done it. This one's going to take a while. No, we haven't done it. That was wishful thinking. Despair Mastery. Complete bit of despair without ever taking damage. Right, we still need to get that one. Yeah, these ones basically are what we're going for. Wildfire. Back to Desolation. Let's get another Golden Bat. The one that you can combine getting these Golden Bats. This is what I was supposed to be doing originally, and I've gone off on a complete fucking tangent. There's a reason why I wanted to get the Golden Bats done as well, because if you have the Golden Bat ones done so that they are unlocking... What is it? I think Golden Bat gives you the ×3 Cupids, which then would have made getting Cataclysm an easier unlock, but I've now gone and got Cataclysm almost unlocked completely now. So, never mind. Let's go and check the shop. Whilst you are after your Golden Bats and chasing them down, that Scream is a Screamer, and we want him as well. Oh! Accuracy's off there. Yeah, more powerful, longer lasting effects, or hello. Where's that Screamer? Definitely heard him. Still think Screamers should be able to climb up after you. That would be amazing. Where's the Screamer? Definitely heard him. Need these bat headshots as well. Should maybe be a little bit more careful so that I can actually survive long enough to... There he is! Take advantage. Oop. Easiest way to deal with Screamers, same way as you would deal with any other enemy that is a melee combatant. Get up high to somewhere that they can't get you, and then they have no choice but to stand still. One of the things that I would say about the whole finding Golden Bats is you will find that the Golden Bats, I think, are quite low on the priority list as far as spawning is concerned, and so you can't just flit into a level and the Golden Bat be there where it should be, because it might not have spawned because there's too many enemies around. So that is something to bear in mind. It's something that I have to bear in mind now that things have changed with how Desolation works. Yeah, Desolation is one of those ones where you want to... there's our boy. You want to spend enough time in Desolation to get all of the achievements and then never touch it again. There are specific achievements to Desolation. That's why you go to Desolation, and then there's no reason to be here anymore because it's harder, doesn't give you as many points. Oh, yeah. Well, I should do that. That isn't what I did last time. I legitimately got killed because I wasn't paying attention. But, to be fair, things had run its course and I was supposed to be doing this. One of the achievements that we need to get is dying more anyway. It's quite a good achievement, that one, that unlocks Holy Armor. There's something we need. Unlocks Holy Armor within the level. But yeah, Desolation is just... I mean, I disagreed with Desolation in that it was a level that was basically made for players like me. And it's like, yeah, but we're a rarer breed. They should have made, if anything... Yeah, it's... Well, it's supposed to be 10% more, and in theory, Desolation might be worth 10% more points on paper, but those 10% more points, I think a lot of that is in headshotting bats. And that's not a fucking easy shot, and it's not one that you can make at any sort of decent distance. You can headshot a Cupid but, from quite a distance, but headshotting bats is nigh on impossible from anything up close. So you're then not getting the bonus points that you would normally get from doing headshots at distance. Because remember, you can put all the distance on an enemy in the world, but if you're landing body shots, it scores nothing. That was a really rubbish teleport arrow. Like, that scored me nothing. And that scored me nothing other than the 70 gold and, like, a small cycle bonus. Because I'm not hitting headshots. Headshots are rewarded within the scoring. But again, that's not something that anybody who's going through achievements needs to worry about. Not yet. That's where IDU begins. The real game. No worries, dude. Thanks for dropping in, and we'll see you soon. Yeah, no, that is probably it. That's a very valid comment, Fee. The thing is, it's like, one of the other problems as well is, I like Purgatory. I've played Purgatory more than any other level, and I like it. It's a very nice, very well-designed level. Purgatory somehow feels like home. This place does not feel like home. This place is not inviting. Can I get up in the trees? No, they're taking all my fun away. Can you get up on any of the bits of the trees? No, they took that away too. You used to be able to jump up in the trees. This doesn't feel like home. This feels like a fucking nightmare. It's so open that you can be taken down easier. It has got arguably harder enemies in, i.e. the Screamer, the Exorcist, having to go below ground as well. Ugh. See, if they came out with an alternative to Paradise Lost, I'd take it. I would take an alternative to Paradise Lost as long as it doesn't have as many Cupids in. No, the Abyss too. I like the Abyss. I think the Abyss is a fantastic level. There's also a lot of rewards in Abyss because of summoners. As I said, there's one thing that Super Bright just changes about the game, and it would get me coming to Desolation all the time, and that is make exorcists drop. And then all of a sudden I am being rewarded for taking a risk. Whereas at the moment, I am taking a risk and not being rewarded for it. So, especially on the competitive line side of things, why? Why would I even? Why would I even? Get the achievements and leave. Did we check this? I can't remember. I've already got Curse done, I think. Yeah. Yeah. I like Desolation. I think the artwork is nice. I think, like, images like that, and you guys will be able to see this because of how the stream's looking these days, but images like that are fucking fantastic. It looks creepy, it looks misty, I think it looks good. Maybe it's a Quest 2 thing. It definitely looks better on the PICO. And the game, as I've said before as well, actually runs objectively better. You wouldn't find me often in Desolation whilst I'm streaming on the Quest, because it might be more of a My Quest issue, because My Quest 2 is now 2 and a bit years old, I think. But it really struggles with Desolation if I'm streaming or recording at the same time. I've I've also found the same with Siege from time to time. Alright, let's get some headshots out of these bats. Slow, 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 slow. Wait till they dive in. Aim for the chin. Oh, that wasn't the chin, was it? And little shield bash in there as well. Let's pretend that was on purpose. So, where's the golden bat? There you are. Lovely. On demand. Oh, we need those as well. This can be, again, part of the problem that you can have when you are unlocking arrows. Steady on, fellas. Ow. When you are going towards unlocking the effects of arrows, as you can see, I'm doing a bit of a hash of it at the moment, is I keep on getting arrows that I need to do, so I'm changing my arrows instead of concentrating on the one that I've got, which is genuinely what I should do. But I'm trying to be as quick and efficient as I can be with it. But you can get to a point where you're trying to do too much. Just want them clicks. Just want them clicks. I believe... Wildfire. Oh, they're going for it. Wildfire is the... Oh, almost got the whole swarm then. Wildfire is very much... Oh, it's rubbish. Wildfire is very much the same situation as... Oh, I've already done that. I don't think you need to unlock Divine Sight to unlock Divine Sight times 3. Don't quote me on that. But I don't think there's any link between them. Because I think the Divine Sight 3 achievement comes up soon after you have unlocked the 10 bats at the same time. It would make sense progress-wise, but what you've got to remember is Divine Sight was in the game before its multiple shot variants. And so I don't think they would have been linked. I don't think they would have gone that far. Yeah, you could have. But then the thing is, you'll always get it by accident at some point, I'd imagine. Just holding your shield out whilst teleporting in Paradise Lost, that'll do it. Now, I might, see what time's like in a minute, might actually take Indy up on his offer. Go and play some Ghosts. I won't be streaming it because that game is not capable of streaming and play at the same time on the Quest 2, which is very unfortunate. But if Indy's got a stream going, what time are we on at the moment? Indy's playing, I might go and join him. We'll play for a bit longer. See if I can give you guys one more click, at least. At least one more. That'd be generous, wouldn't it? I thought it was you. Don't need to kill those. Oh, Ghosts of Debor. Oh, what I'll do, if, give this another 10, 15, 20 minutes, and I'll see what I'm like, and then I'll redirect this stream to Indies, and I'll come chat with you over there if anyone's still about, and then I might go and jump in and play some Tabor with him. We'll see. It's a busy day tomorrow. Yes you would. Yes you would, because it's got toggle grip in it now. If you can play into the radius how I said to you about with the guns, then you'd be able to play this because it's got toggle grip now. Where's the bloody golden bat? I think this, because although the configurations are the same, they rotated them not so long ago. So although this, because part of a roguelike, or roguelike/roguelite game is that the levels are procedurally generated. Although there are lots of varieties of levels, these levels are not procedurally generated. And you'll know this if you play the game as much as I do, because you'll see the same, I think it's 8 configurations. They are randomly generated in different orders each time, but that's not really randomly generated, is it? Randomly generated is all of the assets rebuilt for every level, and every level's new, which is part of what makes this a very, very light roguelite. Or like, where's the bat? Should have been here. We definitely checked all of one. Oh no, we killed it, didn't we? Fucking idiot. Killed it about here. Yes. Well, yeah, same configurations. And then what they've done, I think, is they've taken some of these configurations in one season and spun them for the next. And then when they've done that, that's the spawning points have either then, for the golden bat, have either then been inside something or technically off the level, which is why they aren't showing up, or they've changed or whatnot, or at least that's my theory on it. Right, let's go and get the orphan. Get these bats, get the orphan. Yeah. Pestilence is actually not a bad arrow to do the 10 with. I thought it would be absolutely rubbish, but I've seen people have quite a bit of success with it. Not the arrow that I would go for. Oh, we need the screamer as well. Come back here, please, madam. Thank you very much. Oh. Yeah, as I said, I didn't think it would be a great arrow for it because it's tick damage, but if you can fire it off, all the enemies get the same amount of tick damage at the same time, so it can work, but I think something like Wrath of God is just so much easier and better to get it, but then obviously Wrath of God is quite a rare pickup at times. Where's that other bat? Lovely. Right, pit. Pit, ghosts. Die. Crack on. Takabashiba. Oh, so this way, isn't it? Konnichiwa. There we are. Familiar went nuts there. Alright, quick smoke, drink, kill ghosts, die. Yeah, Wrath of God is the one that he wants to be using for the old yeah, Wrath of God is what he wants to be using for the achievement. That's quite interesting, actually. That's something that I've never thought to test. Do you remember how I said that well, actually no, it's the same, isn't it? The orphan can't leave when she is under the effect of an arrow, like tick damage, like pestilence and etc. I was wondering if the same thing was true of, say, incubi and skeletons, if they can still teleport. But it's not teleporting, is it? It's them leaving, and these enemies don't do that, so that's a test we don't even need to worry about. I care little for your arrows. If only you were worth something to me. Alright. Oh, I'm taking loads of hits, Sean. I can get in the middle of everything and not take any hits, but not whilst I'm doing it this way. That is another stream. My ability, well, I say ability, it's just manipulating game mechanics, but it's part of the reason why I did the old style of Orph Annihilation that I do on the Fletcher side of things. It's just slow time abuse and mechanics. Nothing too crazy. Oh, why don't you die from it as well? You're not going to, are you? Oh, there's a Winter's Bite. We were close to Winter's Bite. Place that one. Oh, that's a pestilent shot if ever I saw one. And that one. I like using special arrows. I wish we weren't punished for using them. I really do. They're a lot of fun. Don't get to play the game for fun. Not often. But then, herein lies part of the problem. It's part of the problem I can see. Oh, we don't need divine sights, do we? It's part of the problem that I can see with IDU is that as the game definitely has an end point. The game definitely has a point to which things do start to get a little bit monotonous and a little bit over and over. I mean, bear in mind, I'm like, what, 6 seasons deep now, and I'm still playing this game? I'm either a glutton for punishment or addicted. You make your decision. Yeah, Ghost of Tabor is an interesting one. It's an extraction shooter, so it's high stakes, high risk, high reward gameplay. And me and Indy usually have quite a giggle when we play it. Hence why he's in here asking if I want to come play with him. So, because I know he can get bored of it quite quickly. And I think I do a worthy job of keeping him on edge. I wouldn't say entertained. Team liability. But yeah, we have a giggle. It's fun. It's fun and stressful. The right combo of those two things. Alright, what else we got to do? It is Ghosts of Tabor. What is it? It's an extraction shooter, so that means you go in with what kit you have, and you loot, and then you leave from the level with what kit you loot plus your original. If you die in the level, you lose it all, and it is predominantly PvE, or player versus enemy, or player versus environment, so it's you against like AI soldiers, but there are also other players out in the field as well, and they may be aggressive and shoot on sight, or they may be friendly. You don't know. And it's one of the things that I love about that game. If you're not a shoot on sight person, you can have some fantastic encounters. And you know me, chat, my voice is a weapon. I've weaponized my voice a long time ago, so I can talk myself in and out of situations, and it's usually quite amusing. However, the problem is Indy is a bit of a killer on that game, and I don't want to take away from him enjoying himself. He pops people like there's no tomorrow, and me running up to people going, "Hey there, how you doing? Can we have a chat about things?" doesn't help him get the drop on people. So, but Yeah, so it's you can go in as a squad, so there's a cooperative element to it. One of the things that I really like is there isn't the usual UI that you would get, in that you can tell who's on your side and who's not, which then leads to friendly fire incidents, which are fucking hilarious. Or at least I find them hilarious anyway. Maybe Indy doesn't. Although, having said that, I haven't blue on blued any of my teammates yet. Not once. I've been killed by all 5 of the people that I play with. I've been killed by Walking Dead. I've been killed by Indy. I've been drilled by Mac. I haven't played with Shuey yet. I'm sure he won't mind slotting me either. So yeah, I've just got that kind of face, I guess, or voice, one of the two. But yeah, it's a really good game. They are... The only problem with it is, mechanically wise, it's not very sound. It's... I don't know, it does feel like a bit of a rush job to get it out to press, which is fair. It is an app lab game. So, you know, that's what you're buying, so that's what you should expect. But even by app lab standards, it feels a little even more unfinished than usual. What the hell is that? This is what I'm talking about. Archers don't take those shots. They do in Desolation. Those little stupid looping shots. I can't see him, yet he'll attempt that shot. What a prick. They just don't do that in Purgatory. They really don't. Oh yeah, it needs it does need some tweaking. They've got a lot of things right. The core gameplay of it is right. But like, for instance, one of the fundamentals of it, looting, the mechanics aren't great for it. And there's a lot of glitches and bugginess, and it can be a bit of a nightmare to play sometimes. Oh, really? Maybe then. I know they do. It's those shots that will get you as a player, and I know that they do them in other levels. Let's put it on there. I think I need incursion still. They do attempt those shots in other levels. It just seems that the way that this is built, and the way the configurations are, and the way the layouts are, it just feels like those looping arrows happen more and more often on Desolation. And if you also speak to LG as well, because he's seen it and I've definitely seen it as well, they'll even fucking shoot over that. Bastards! They don't do that in Purgatory. They wait until they've got line of that sight and then shoot you. But it's those stupid looping shots that are really fast as well. And it's very annoying. Oh, hang on. That'll be my 11 o'clocks. Dismiss. And check for battery. Yep, we're out. There we go. There we go. There we go. Right, what we doing? Getting kills. I want to click from something before I come off. I'm having my one more click. Just one more. I'll be getting it from Pestilence. No, I'm not going. No, I'm getting my click. You go! I want my click! Want one more little endorphin rush, even though I do have it as my notification tone. One more little endorphin rush, and then we'll go. Well, yeah, but that doesn't matter. Families don't matter when it comes to IDU. Oh, good one. I usually get to sleep anywhere between about 12 and 1, I guess. So, It's part of the reason why I like redirecting you guys to streams after I've finished, because A, you might see something that you like, B, it supports somebody else as well, and C, I like to wind down a little bit after I've finished playing. Quite exhilarating. Yes. But yeah, I'd get finished. The thing is, I've got the ability to stream infinitely, and we've only been going 3 hours. One of the things with my little cryptic-ness earlier is that I do plan on doing a little bit longer streams than what I would normally do in the future. And like any good skill that you can develop, especially in something like VR, the more you do of a thing, the more resilient or better you will get at a thing. Or at least that's my excuse. And I've got the ability now to play technically infinitely, in that I don't... Previously, we used to do like an after party. Because I had, usually when I was finished, I had a little bit of my battery left, and I wanted to do something with it. Instead of just, like, you know, I always play to headset death, or more often than not. And... yeah, let's get that incursion. Get that incursion leveled up a little bit. I always try and play to headset death, usually. If I've got any battery left, it feels like a bit of a waste. With a rechargeable device. Is, well, only one. I would show you a quick kill, but I'm trying to get kills, so see if we can get when this mine popped. I don't think we got incursion. I can't remember. Might have. Come on. Come on now. Spawn them. Gonna need more than that. Oh. Oops. Have you spawned on the one? No, you haven't. Right, come on, I need abominations. Come on now, there we are. No. Oh, spiky and explosive. I bet that hurt, didn't it? Honestly, like, this is a pretty good example of it. If the lighting in Purgatory is correct, then why even bother with putting all of these effects in the game? I know I've said it many times before, but it's definitely wrong. Definitely. You know what, this probably isn't the most efficient place to do this. Oh. Pillar. 2 life. It's getting incursion so little, I want to try and get the most out of it. You don't actually need many incursion kills to get it unlocked. I tell you what, if we get Cataclysm unlocked whilst I'm doing this though, we'll know for certain that it's all explosive arrows that go towards the Cataclysm damage upgrade. I like the dark levels though. The dark is good. Dark is great. Don't know, always I've been tagged a few times by enemies hiding in the shadows, and I like it. I think it's awesome. It's like, why have all these awesome lighting effects? Don't get me wrong, I know the lighting side of things, it makes it easier for target acquisition and aiming, but still. Well, they're obviously embracing the Cobra Kai methods of, you know, if your enemy can't see, you can't fight. Enemy can't stand, he can't fight. Just got to learn to, I don't know, shoot without seeing. All you do is as soon as you hear the trigger, you run. They teleport after you. Game over. But it's nice to get those little scares from time to time. Oh. Oh, that won't count either. More abominations, please. One of the games that I am quite keen to play for you guys, I've got two. I've got Ghost Signal, Stellaris, whatever. Can't remember what the rest of the title is. Really good strategy game. And I'm being given, or I should be being given rather, what was it called? Cosmo Dread. Anyone remember me playing that? That's a fairly scary game. I'd grab that. What is it? Propagation Hotel? But it sounds like it's being played to absolute death by everybody at the moment, so I might hold fire. No. I never miss doing high cycle play on IDU because it's I've done it so many times now, and it's also the fact that it's obviously it's a combination of stressful why'd you come in? Look, I'm unlocking special arrows, Beanie. Why? What is it with your comedic timing and the values of it? Hello, Beanie. How you doing? Yeah. Oh, that's something that I wanted to check. Why have I got a little heart in the bottom right-hand corner of my screen? I have no idea. Can anyone else? Yeah, it's on the stream. I have no idea why that's even there. Yeah, getting there. Getting there. Got a big Friday. Big Friday this week, hopefully. Let's get a few of these down, kill some enemies with this. Oh, actually, yeah, we were really close to the lightning, I think. Come on, hurry, hurry, hurry. Hey, that's a click. Got ya. Right, that's smite done. I don't think Pestilence is going to be up to much on here, you know. Unless I can make them all teleport down my throat, but that's unlikely to happen. Yeah, that's what I was getting at earlier. What's all of this with the leaderboard side of things? Is that happening to everybody or just a select few? Or obviously doesn't seem to be any issues on the PICO, but... Ow. Ooh. IDU 2 when? Right? I'm right? I'm right. Must be IDU 2. Push that weight, Beanie. I'll give you some of mine. A little off the hip. He meant the other kind of weight, chat. Get me some unlocks. Get me some unlocks, Beanie. I want unlocks. I'll start playing competitively again. Yeah, well, this is part of the problem. That's why you need some of my weight. And not in the figurative sense. Getting all my life back now. That's the other thing as well, as I'm playing like a dork. and not picking up health probably doesn't help. Right, we're done with that one. Oh. There's 3 down there? No. Oh, this will be a shot. Will it travel? Where? There. Damn. Oh, hello. Those big King Kong balls. Come on. Second time? No. Third time? No. Well, that's the end of that chapter. Fuck. Any quivers? Oh, why are there no quivers? Might not be far off a wildfire. Let's have a quick wildfire, and we'll go and see where we're at. Don't feel like I've done a lot of achievement, popped a lot tonight, but it's all good because we're getting there. That blistering aim was just for you, Beanie. Look, see, I can't even hit anything when I'm firing 5. Ow, get hit though. Ooh. Happy days. Well, let's get that orphan and get the hell out of here. Hello. Yeah. Oh, I was going to use this. Maybe I will. Oh, that's a lot. 1, 2. Ah, it's just like back in the day. Back in the day when IDU scoring was easy. Oh, run out. Boo. Finish me off then. Ow. Ding, 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 ding. Let's see where we're at. Oh, that's 2 reasonably big arrows done. Not that we'll ever use them again, but that's part and parcel of it. Get them done. Get them done, then we don't have to pick them up anymore. Ooh! Do the convincing. I might have to have a chat with you in that case in a minute. I'll hit you up on Facebook and let you know with something that I've got in the pipeline as well. And on that beanie bombshell, I think we'll end it there. So, this has been IDU. I have been Silver Tongue Devil. Thank you all very much for watching, and good night.